This weekend, Keith, the heavyweight title on the line. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, the third one, the one for all the marbles, man. How does this go? It's you never know with Wilder because a Wilder can completely erase you at any time, at any moment in a fight because he's such a big puncher. But what's most likely to happen in this fight, in your opinion?
It really, once again, it comes down to the training camps. You know, anybody who's tuning into the fight should probably be a little bit on. Certain people are definitely going to be on the Fury side, but there's some of us who remember what Tyson Fury looked like when it went down. And I'm sorry to say, but I'd love to see it again. Okay. To see the big, I mean, because he's even the bigger man, you know? So we don't, how many times did Wilder have in his career to knock down a bigger man? You know, it was just so entertaining. And it probably was so entertaining because Tyson got up. So, you know, don't be worried, Tyson. I want you to go down because I believe you can get up. Okay. But it's so entertaining to watch you go down and then come up and then go down and then come up. And then you fought to a draw. I mean, it was like, there's nothing almost better than that, you know? And I just believe, that, you know, at any time, like you said, anytime we can see the man go down, if Wilder is actually able to connect on the chin. You know, Fury is obviously very comfortable by now getting in the ring with Deontay Wilder, but it's that one slip up, you know. Wilder is able to give back a little bit of movement. You know, he's been working on some things, and if he can just get in there a little bit slicker, put a little bit more strategy, energy, boom, 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 almost that Canelo effect, boom, boom, boom. Just pick get a few new looks, a few new angles. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what your little turn the head move. That one's the cutest, I think, that Canelo does. Is turn that one's the cutest. That one's the cutest, you know. It's one thing to get under them and pull on them and everything, but then he wants to give you the turn, you know. Anything that you do, we're already great athletes. So when you add something to your repertoire, it just makes you that much better, you know. It could be anything. It could be as fundamental as a jab. You know, it could be a whole lot of different things. The footwork, the head movement. You can just pick one little thing, and it slowly elevates who you already are as a fighter, even at this level. So I always encourage people to not be afraid of new technique, man. Don't show up to the gym and do the same thing over and over and over again. Grab one little technique, get yourself familiar with it, day by day, week by week for about a month, add it into your sparring regimen, just play around with the footwork, the way you circle around the ring, and just integrate it into what you're actually able to do. And then all of a sudden you'll have it in your bag. You know, that's how I teach people, and any of the fighters that actually listen to me. It even bothers me how fast they progress, because the advice that I've given them has been proven through my 100 and something fights throughout my career, you know? So all of a sudden they really look like a better fighter. And then they do this other technique I give them, and they're starting to look like an even better fighter. And I'm like, man, how much better can these kids get one technique at a time? But that's the method that I use.
So what happens in the fight, Keith? Does Tyson get the victory, or does Wilder take him out of there?
I mean, just from what we've seen overall, it seems like Tyson wins a 12-round fight, right? Stylistically, you know, with how much he moves and his jabbing, and then his punching. You know, he can punch and hold. He's got other tactics, regardless of whatever he might have been in the glove, not in the glove. He's got tactics on how to frustrate a big man in the ring. Okay. So I think if we leave it up to the judges, I see it hard to say Wilder is going to be able to just shut down all that Fury's been doing. You know, if he is going to shut it down, he's going to shut it down with a big punch. And then I don't think we need to go to the judges for that. So that's the way I see it. I see if we got to go to the judges, got to lean towards, Fury. We could say, well, what about Fury stopping him? I know he's a big man. He's capable of big things, but stylistically, I'm just going to say 12 rounds Fury. If it goes short, I'm leaning towards Wilder.
Even with what happened in the second fight with Fury stopping him and him saying he's going to go right for the knockout, you think it still could go, it'll go 12?
Well, I truthfully don't think it's going to go 12. I think it'd be a great fight if it does go 12, but I just don't think, I think Wilder was fatigued. I think, I got popcorn for the fight. Okay. I popped some popcorn with the wife. We're sitting on the couch. We're watching the fight. If my wife can see that a heavyweight is tired in the fourth round, then you're tired in the fourth round. You understand? Mm-hmm. So there was no way Wilder was getting out of that fight, period. Without a one punch here or there, whatever they did backstage, all that stuff, sounds whatever, but there's a lot of things a fighter can do pre-fight that's not going to be good for the athlete, and it just sounds like the decisions that they made and what they committed to, and, you got the adrenaline and you think you can do anything, but, sometimes we feel muscle fatigue. And until we can get to a certain amount of rounds later, we're not going to get that second wind, So you're really you're on E for a duration of time before you feel like you can really move your arms again, So you just don't want to be in that situation. And I believe that Wilder must have felt like something. Otherwise, why even really do a third fight? I know he knows that there's so much more to give a fight. That wasn't the true second fight. You see what I'm saying? There's even if he's going to get beat, not like that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be able to throw way more hands. He needs to be able to do a lot. It should have gone more rounds, a whole lot of different things. You see what I'm saying? So I do believe in a reason, for this third fight. I wasn't a big fan of the second fight due to the overall outcome of it. It was slightly entertaining, but it was one-sided because one athlete wasn't able to be at his best.
I can't wait, because with the heavyweights, you never know what's going to happen. And I think
and they're just the two biggest, baddest human beings alive. Okay. That's just what it is. Okay. They can fight 15 times in a row and you're going to watch it. All right. They're dangerous.
Yeah. And I think, regardless of what happened in the second fight, you can't ever really write off a guy with as big of a punch as Wilder, because he showed in both Luis Ortiz fights where he was losing on the cards and we thought it was going one way. He ends up putting out Ortiz, out of nowhere. So you can't count out a guy with that much firepower in his arsenal.
Yeah, it comes down to strength and conditioning, and his strength and conditioning faded so early. If Wilder's able to take you into those deep rounds and you still got to dodge those bombs, that's the problem. That's what happened to Ortiz. The moment he slowed down and he got tired, Wilder still, was able to sneak an uppercut. My memory is right. It was like a right uppercut, which I think is one of his best punches, But the real challenge here is that he's fighting a boxer who's bigger than him, who can actually keep him on the outside, who can actually keep the jab and actually play the boxer versus puncher role. Everybody else who's outboxing him or doing something, they're still stepping into the danger zone. He can hit them before they can hit him, And so they have to accept that. And that's why he's always technically, if he's fighting them, he's always going to be able to hit them, because heavyweights don't just jump in and jump out. You know, he's always going to be able to get his hands on him. The problem with this Fury fight is Fury makes him reach and got him missing, you know. So let's see what tactics he did to make better contact when stepping in to Tyson Fury.
Isn't that the crazy thing, Keith, that what you would think if you're fighting a puncher, you'd want to stay away from them and create distance, but that's actually bad because they can get you because they could fully extend their punches, and that really you want to smother the puncher so they can't use their full leverage. But like, you would think common sense would tell you, like, no, why would you want to fight a puncher up close where they could get you, you know?
Well, the problem is, like I say, in your way of getting into that, you have to go past the straight right hand zone, right? Then, okay, I'm inside that, but now you can get hit with like left hooks and uppercuts. Then you got to get inside of that. Now you're finally on top of them. So the problem is you just have the disadvantage. When you're really like that, you have the disadvantage. And it's definitely a reach factor. And Wilder is not used to having the disadvantage. He's just throughout his whole career, he's used to being the biggest guy in the ring, you know? So it's really not his fault if he doesn't never use the tactics to get inside, because people were coming to him, or he was on the outside and they couldn't even reach him. Now, when he's on the outside, he can actually get hit by something because this guy has longer arms. So, you know, it's something new. It's something new. But at the end of the day, if he lands that right hand, what's going to happen ain't going to be new. We're all going to expect him to get dropped. So, you know.
So are you picking Wilder by knockout, or are you thinking that maybe
no, I'm cheering. I'm cheering for Wilder, you know, red, white, and blue, you know. But I just love all that. I love what both heavyweights bring to the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury is just really one of the most skilled heavyweights of this genre, this era. You know, just never really seen too many triple jabbing heavyweights since the days of Ali and them. And Ali wasn't as big as Tyson Fury, you know? So for him to be the size that he is and to be as mobile and agile and enjoy boxing the way that he does, moving around, it's just very entertaining. And I've just been a big fan of Deontay for a long time. I've seen him accomplish so much. And, you know, even with a victory on the books, it's 2-1, you know, or no, it's not, it'd be 1-1.
Yeah,
then,
1-1.
And then the draw. So, you know, so that's another reason why I see why his hunger is for this, you know what I mean? So I'd like my boy to get his redemption and get that, you know, to get that stripe back. And then, you know, he'd be able to not feel bested by this man at the end of the day. You know, who knows if they'll ever go at it again. We normally don't see too many fights go past the trilogy. But we just got to see what kind of action this fight brings, man, because I just want more than last time. You know, it just, you know, it's not Tyson Fury's fault what happened overall. But at the end of the day, that's what Deontay Wilder is here to do. More than last time. Because you want this rematch, I mean, you got to show more. You got to show us more as fans, yourself more, you know, the whole world, you know. And then let's see if he can defeat the giant.